All right, good evening, everybody. Hello, this is David Esquire with Esquire Photography, and I just got in from an amazing consultation with Bernadette and her fiance. And we met at the Surf and Sand tonight, had a couple of beverages, a little bit of dinner, and just really got to know each other a lot better. And I am so impressed with something that came up during the conversation, and that is they asked me about my clause in my contract that clearly states that no other photographer, whether it be professional, semi-pro, whatever, a person with a camera basically, is allowed to take photographs at the wedding or the reception, etc. during the wedding day. That is the parachute clause that I have in my contract that helps my brides and grooms know that if they have an unruly guest that decides they want to be out of control with their point and shoot, their iPhone, or whatever it might be, they can be either removed, which has happened during my career of 29 years, 3 times, or they can just basically be asked to get out of my way. And that really led to a terrific conversation because they had shared with me that they don't understand why they go to weddings that their friends are having, and there are tons of people around the altar during the ceremony with their point and shoots, their DSLRs, iPhones, Blackberries, Androids, whatever it might be, and they don't understand how come all these people are gathered around taking pictures when the bride and groom, I'm going to have to say, spent anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000 for professional wedding photographs. And they asked me if that ever happens to me, and I had to be very honest and say, yeah, there are people that take photographs during the wedding day and during the reception, but there's also a certain level of respect that is immediately established in the beginning of the day with the client and with the guest and things like that, and the way I kind of command my performance. But again, as I said, I've had 3 instances during my career where people had to be removed and not allowed to shoot and taken out of the wedding reception altogether. So what does that lead me to do? To share with you tonight is this whole concept that we talked about, which really helped me expound a little bit more with them to kind of put it all into perspective. So let's say you're a guest at a wedding and you bring your Canon Rebel or whatever it is that you're shooting with, and you want to take some pictures. Cool, I got it, totally. I'm always with a camera. I always have my iPhone, I always have my Panasonic GF1, and I usually have my other iPhone with the Owlie on it, which is what I'm recording on right now. I totally get that, but it's when the guests at a wedding start to become extremely unruly to the point where they're standing in the aisle, they're standing up by the altar, they're getting in the way of the photographer during the reception, and they're really keeping the photographer from doing his or her job properly, which is what they were hired to do. What I don't understand, and this is kind of the topic of what came up tonight, was why all of these people at a wedding would disrespect their friend or their family member that is getting married to the point of ruining the photographs. This is the bride and groom talking to me about this, and I thought that was phenomenal because it kind of made sense in the same manner as if a wedding guest showed up at a wedding with DJ equipment and set it up because they wanted to show their mad skills and how amazing of a DJ they could be for their bride and groom. Or let's say a guest showed up and brought flowers and wanted to put all the floral arrangements out the way that they saw fit to impress the bride and groom, or for their own edification, or to pad their portfolio, or whatever it might be. Or let's say there's a videographer that shows up as a guest and busts out their camera and starts shooting video, thus prohibiting the videographer from doing their job, or consistently is in the shot with the bride and groom. And that really made sense. So I just want to kind of put it out there that this came up tonight during a consultation, and this was brought up by Bernadette and her fiance. And I thought that was phenomenal because they are planning on making an announcement, which has happened probably 2 out of every 10 weddings that I shoot, that right before the ceremony, a church lady or the officiant or the priest or the pastor, whoever it might be, will make an announcement telling the guests during the wedding, ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom have paid a great deal of money to have professional photographs taken, to have professional video shot. Please sit down and enjoy the day. And then we started talking a little bit more about that. And we thought, okay, well, gee, the average cost for a wedding is approximately anywhere from $17,000 to $25,000. Depending on the state, it could be more, and depending on how much you spend, could be more. Commonly, that's spent by the bride and groom or by the bride's family, the groom's family, or a culmination of all the above. So you've got the bride and groom that paid great deals of money for a professional photographer and or videographer. You've got a bride and groom and family possibly that paid for a professional DJ. You've got a bride and groom and family possibly that paid for a professional florist and a caterer and a baker and all these amazing things that go into it to learn where the bride and groom have spent tens of thousands of dollars for you to show up and enjoy the wedding day with them. It's their special day. This isn't an opportunity for people to pad their portfolios because they're an aspiring student photographer. This isn't an opportunity for somebody that's an aspiring videographer. This is an opportunity for the guest to sit down, enjoy the day, and celebrate the day with the bride and groom. I've done this 29 years. I've done it since the F word, film. Never before in my career have I seen more people want to get up and actually push me out of the way with their iPhone. Push me out of the way with their Canon Rebel, push me out of the way because they want to get the shot, although I'm getting paid anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 or more dollars to photograph a wedding and provide professional prints. I'm also getting paid to photograph a ceremony that doesn't include anywhere from half a dozen to 2 dozen guests up there with their point and shoots, their DSLRs, and their camera phones crowded around a ceremony site. I know for a fact at my wedding, I did not have that. I know for a fact that when I shot film, guests were required to sit down and enjoy the day. So I just want to put it out there that this is coming from Bernadette and her fiance today. They are going to not have their friends and family shoot photographs other than the ones they can take from their seat during the ceremony. And really, if you're a guest and you're attending a wedding, if you're a photographer and you're attending a wedding as a guest, or if you're a videographer and if you're attending a wedding as a guest, have respect for that person that spent a lot of money for the entire day and also spent a lot of money for you to be there to share in that day. Because remember, that dinner that they paid for cost a lot of money. That seat that you're sitting in that they paid for cost a lot of money. The DJ, the baker, everything that is there at that wedding day cost your friend or your family member a lot of money. Let the professionals do what the professionals do. They're going to get the pictures. Trust me, we shoot anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, 10,000 photographs depending on how long the day is and how many photographers are there. So let us do our job. Don't crowd the wedding site, don't crowd the ceremony, and by all means, don't push us out of the way when we're doing our job. Same thing goes for this videographer. And think about it this way. If you are an aspiring DJ, would you push the DJ out of the way from his turntables from doing his job? And if you were an aspiring florist, would you do the same thing to the florist at the wedding? My guess is probably not. So let's have a little respect for the brides and grooms that are getting married out there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're a bride and groom and you're getting married, your professionals that you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for are in your corner for you. Know that. It is a complete disservice if we're not. If I'm not treating your wedding as if it was my own, I'm doing something wrong, and I know the DJs that are out there are going to treat your wedding the same way. If you're hiring a professional DJ, professional videographer, makeup artist, all the way across the board, we're all in it for your wedding day. So maybe convey a little bit of that to your guests and to your family. Let them enjoy the day that you're spending tens of thousands of dollars for, because quite honestly, they're disrespecting you and they're disrespecting your family for getting in the way and prohibiting the professionals that you paid for to do their job. So that's about it. I just got in from a consultation and I was really feeling passionate about that on the way back coming up from PCH. I just wanted to share that with you. Hope everybody's having a fantastic West Coast Wednesday. I'm going to be going to Gary Newman tomorrow night. I'm taking the night off. Whoa, imagine that. But I'm going to hang up this video right here and get back on it. I've got some deliverables I need to ship out tomorrow. So until then, have a great rest of your West Coast Wednesday, and I will see you guys soon. Cheers.